I was telling Deloy when I walked into this facility in December, I got tears in my eyes, not only thinking about what it meant for the youth here in Utah, but how envious and jealous I was being part of kind of the original part of Major League Soccer. How important is this when we think big picture of what an anchor like this facility means for not only Real Salt Lake, but for Major League Soccer?
You know, if we really are, and we are really committed to being, among the top leagues in the world, you need to build pyramids that, we all know about in our sport, that start in the community with families and fans and then go up to youth players that can dream to peek through the fence and see their heroes playing for the first team. And we're beginning to have that in MLS, but here we're going to have the opportunity to do that on the women's side. Which again is almost unprecedented. We have one in Portland where we have an owner that owns a NWSL team, a USL team, and an MLS team, but without a facility like this. So this is the beginning of planting, trees that are growing into forests, and we have a burgeoning forest here in Salt Lake City.
I was going to ask you about the commitment. You did a great job just hitting all those bullet points from the academy to the USL side and the Monarchs, so Utah Royals, Real Salt Lake. How much does that mean to have this type of commitment from ownership to plant those trees?
Well, again, Brian, what's really interesting here, it's not just about infrastructure. It's about investing in your first team and investing in the school and creating an opportunity to have this club really matter. As we talk about the things that we need to do to compete with the Premier League, it is about the first team, the quality of play, but it's very much about the relevance of our teams in their communities. And you think about when you go to visit Man City, that team has been there for 100 years and you feel it. You feel it in the community, you feel it in Etihad Stadium, you feel it when you tour their facility with all their youth clubs. They have a women's team as well. The team matters, and that's what everything that's happening here with Real Salt Lake and with Deloy and everything that he and the rest of the group, like yourself, are doing. We need to do that in all of our markets. We'll soon have 28 teams, and it's going to take us a generation to be able to have these types of kind of epicenters for the sport in every community. Once we've done that, then we'll basically achieve that really long sought after goal.
I think it's 9 years now that Deloy Hansen's been involved with Real Salt Lake, and going from Rio Tinto Stadium to everything that we've talked about so far. How do you describe what you've seen from the Commissioner of Major League Soccer of how Deloy Hansen has gone about his business?
It's just, it makes me smile, because Deloy is one of those guys that came into this league caring about the community and then fell in love with the sport. And now when you see him walk around and he says hello to, members of the Royals or to assistant coaches, or to see everything that's happening on the infrastructure side, he's become one of our really important and influential owners. And that's a pretty short period of time. The league was founded by a bunch of sports industrialists, Lamar Hunt, Phil Anschutz, Robert Kraft, and now evolving into a new generation of owners that will carry this sport on their backs for a generation to come, and Deloy's definitely one of those guys.
I think about this generational ownership, and I think about the salary cap doubling. I think about target allocation money and designated players, and not too long ago, it was about David Beckham and how he really changed the trajectory of this league. Where are we? Do people, I keep saying we're in the fast forward phase of Major League Soccer, that people look back 10 years from now and say, these were the 3 years where really things took off to a whole different medium. How are the conversations now?
It's interesting. We seem to be on a fast forward, button since Salt Lake came in 05, the beginning of growth. And every year there's something that happens that has you think, well, this is going to be the period that 1.0 or 2.0, this is that transformational period of time, that tipping point. And we just seem to go through those moments every year. This particular off-season, it's about a deep investment in TAM and the discretion on TAM. It's about new facilities here, opening up Audi Field in DC, and next year Alliance Field in Minnesota, adding new teams. So there's always these things that I think history will look back as chapters in the book. And then at some point we have to just sort of be a normal league that goes about its business. That's probably after we stop expanding, and expansion kind of brings in more opportunity, more jobs, more coverage, if you will. And I look forward to that time. I probably won't be the commissioner when that happens, but it's been an amazing ride.
I know you're going to be busy kicking off this 2018 season. Is there any specific hopes for this year? Is there anything that you're really looking forward to in 2018?
The story really, and you hit on it in your previous question, the story is all these new young players that have come in, including, here in Salt Lake. It is the first moment on the field where you have the equivalent of what was the designated player rule in '07, where there are dozens of players that are all under 24 years old, all that are coming for the most part from South America, and trying to be the Almiron, if you will, in Atlanta, who really has taken a career that needed an amazing boost, and now, as you probably know, is sought after all over the world. I think that's going to be the story this year, Brian. Our average age of new players is under 25 years old. In the Beckham days and in and around that time, it was over 30 in terms of the new players coming in. So what a big transformation in less than 10 years.